I'll give you some high-level, really focused advice, if you will, on how to be an effective real estate investor and protect yourselves from fluctuations, whether it's an economic fluctuation, a recession, even a depression, a local real estate market cycle. First and foremost, there's just so much here that I want to share. First and foremost, you really need to stay focused on the big picture. Some investors make the mistake of being presented a quote-unquote deal, and it's this property that looks great on the outside, the inside. It was probably renovated, and the numbers look good on paper. Maybe it's leased and they're actual numbers, or maybe it's to be leased and it's pro forma. But in either case, it looks like a good deal, and it may be. But what they fail to do, and these are mistakes I've made personally early on, is they don't step back to look at where is this located? What is the street like? What is the area like? What is the neighborhood like? And more importantly, what is the market that it's in like? So if you reverse this, it really becomes what is my 5th rule of my 10 rules of successful real estate investing. It's taking a top-down approach. So you have to think of it like a funnel. When you start at the top of the funnel, you look at the United States and you say, okay, big country, we have 405 metropolitan statistical areas. Each and every one of those is a big area in itself. And so what happens on one side of it is different than what happens on the other side. But that's where you start. So you start with a market. You choose the best market to invest in. And the way you determine that is you look at the fundamentals and you look at the dynamics. The 2 most important things that investors really should look at when it comes to that market is, what are the jobs like? What's the job environment? Are there jobs, and is there job growth? Because people live in a market because of the jobs, and they stay or move to that market because of jobs. It's when jobs disappear and employment goes high that people start to move out further and further away until they can find employment, because you can only live so long without income. So jobs is critically important. And the second thing, which is tied to the first, is the population growing? Is there migration, positive net migration? Is there organic growth? Because that leads to demand for housing. And if you have demand for housing, it keeps prices up or pushes prices up, it pushes rents up, and it keeps the housing market healthy and strong.